Hello and welcome back to Third Power Life Podcast. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about enjoying the journey, and it's not so much about the destination. You know, it's all important that we keep training, that we keep trying to become better. And today I wanted to go a little bit deeper into that about mastery and how do we become masters at what we do. Listen in. Welcome to my journey of self-discovery, life balance, career success, and business creation. This podcast works to answer the question of how successful professionals like us stop drifting and get focused on keeping our careers and businesses growing rapidly while having a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love. What we call the Third Power Life. And this is the Third Power Life Podcast. One of the bigger challenges that I've always had in my life is going through a program, whether it's to a seminar or taking an online class or reading a book or anything along that line, is I'll look at it, I'll read it, I'll like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, and try to internalize the information and then go do something else. Anybody ever done that? Or is it just me? So the key that I want for us to understand is that mastery takes time, and you have to keep at it even after you've mastered it. You know, you look at professional athletes or any master in their craft, you know, whether it's poet or painter or athlete, business person, in any area where you encounter a master. I love watching people who are just the absolute masters at their craft. You know, you watch gymnasts or metal workers, or, you know, I remember going and seeing a glass blowing demonstration at Epcot years ago. And it's so cool watching somebody who has that mastery down. And for us, we need to be working on ourselves, you know, finding our prime purpose in life, our legacy that we're going to leave, our quest, if you will, and work towards that continuously. And even after we've reached what we feel like is a level of mastery, you have to keep going. You know, in martial arts, you know, we're training, we're constantly training. You know, even, you know, there it is right there, you know, got my black belt. Does that mean, okay, I'm done? No. You know, in the martial arts world, you continue to train, and there are always refinements that you can achieve, make things a little bit better, a little bit smoother, ingrain it naturally. You know, and I have a whole little kind of mini program that I go through talking about my Mastery Triad, and how, you know, the first stage is becoming aware of what you want to do. And that's why it's so critically important for you to figure out what's your purpose, what's the legacy that you want to leave, right? And, you know, that's how we create the quest. That's what my quest program is all about, is finding what's my purpose, why am I here, and how do I go towards that. So the first stage is awareness. You know, we move from, you know, it's like, we call it unconscious incompetence, right? You know, we don't know anything. Well, we become aware of it. It's like when we were learning to drive, it's the best example. You know, it's like, hey, I want to do that. You know, but when we were kids, you get in the car and magically show up somewhere else. And somewhere in your teens, you go, hey, I want to do this, but I have no idea how, right? So we became aware. And now we had conscious incompetence, that this is something I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. And then what do? We start training. We start learning. You know, we get somebody to help us, somebody to guide us. And we become, I call it conscious competence, right? We can now drive. We've practiced enough, right? We've gotten our belt, black belt, right? You know, we can drive, but it takes a lot of thought. It's not muscle memory yet. When you get in the car, it's like, okay, seatbelt and mirrors and okay, foot on the brake, and then, okay, got to put it in gear and let off the brake and then go. Oh, wait, look. Each thing is its own separate step, right? But we train and we train and we train. And we get to that point. Then we have to practice. We have to put in the time, put in the hours. And now for where I am in my life, I've been driving for a long time, right? For me, it's one thing. I get in and I drive. That's it. It's unconscious competence. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to remember each little step. It's just I get in and go, and I've got my drink and a sandwich and, driving with my knee or what have you, right? We can do that because it's become muscle memory. It's become part of us. But if you don't keep up the training, if you don't keep up the practice, if you're not continuously working on that, it will go away. It will erode. You'll lose some of that sharpness. The best example I have for this with driving is the first time I went to the UK and the first time I drove on the wrong side of the road, right? I was back to that conscious competence. I know how to drive, but this is completely different. And it was kind of weird. But what was funny, it wasn't that hard for me to adjust to driving there. It took a day. It was harder coming back. And you're like, what? I came back to where I've been driving for 30 years and it was harder. I was like, yeah, because I had started practicing and had not been doing it the way I had done it here. And I lost some of that. Now, obviously, it didn't take me very long to get back to it, but it was just not practicing the way that I'm supposed to do it. And it was consciously difficult to switch back. And so what I'm telling you is we need to, be working on ourselves, working on our primary purpose, our quest, and keep practicing and training and practicing and training and always looking for those refinements. Make it so that it becomes muscle memory. It's just one thing that you do, right? And don't ever lose it. And it's so easy to kind of sit back. Okay, I've arrived. I now know my stuff. No, you can't sit back on your laurels, as it were. We need to constantly be training. The professional athletes do it. Olympians do it. Yes, they know how to shoot that shot. But that's not enough. You've got to do it and do it and do it and do it. So find your purpose. Figure out what you need to get there, what skills, what things that you need to make that difference in the world, and then practice it and practice it and practice it and practice it. Because I want you to be a master at what you do. And I want to be a master at what I'm doing. Trust me, I need a lot of practice in a lot of different areas of my life. But I'm going to keep doing it, and I hope you do too. And then we'll both be living life to the third power. All right, until next time. I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast. Please let us know what impacted you in today's episode. You can join our Discord or Facebook community to connect with like-minded people that want a real third power life. You can go to thirdpowerlife.com or look in the show notes for links. And remember, hit that like, subscribe, and rate button for the Third Power Life podcast. Until next time.